So now that you have this lesson in mind and the standard and what exactly you want your kids to know, I want you to plan out an exit ticket. So either on your computer or handwritten, plan out what your exit ticket is going to look like. Again, 1 or 2 questions, not multiple choice. You want them to show their work, and then some type of explanation where they're explaining in words how they arrived at that answer. So pause the video now and take a few minutes to complete that. Great. So now that you have your exit ticket, you know exactly what you want them to accomplish by the end of the lesson. Now we're going to go all the way back to the beginning, to that launch hook portion. So you're going to script out exactly how you're going to present this problem or this question to them, or what you're going to teach them directly. That's what you're going to script out now. You're also going to make sure that in that script, you've tied it to a goal, either a qualitative or a quantitative goal that you have in your classroom for math, a goal for that math period, but also a why behind why this is important and how this connects to their everyday life, or how this will help them in high school and college and beyond. So pause the video and work on that. Great. Now what you're going to do is you're going to kind of make those buckets that I was talking about with the different strategies your students can use to solve that particular problem that you've given them. Or if you've taught them how to do something, you could make buckets with they 100% did every single step that I asked them to do, they missed one step, and you can probably tell which step they're going to miss, and then maybe they just completely did not get it at all. Something where you could write it on your piece of paper with like 3, 4, 5, however many columns or groups that you can fill in your kids' names, so that you have that evidence when the lesson is over. So I'm going to pause the video now and make those buckets think about all the different strategies that can be used to solve your problem. Okay, great. And so now what you're going to do is plan for your discourse. You know all the buckets, you know all the strategies, so again, you want to start from the least sophisticated strategy to the most sophisticated strategy. Sometimes there will only be 1 strategy, sometimes there will just be 2, sometimes there could be 9 or 10. You're probably not going to share all of them, but I would list them all out in that order, and then any questions that you would want to ask in between. So like in my previous example, I asked, what's similar and what's different between the 2 strategies? You could ask that in between every single share that you have. You might want to ask someone, like, how did they make sure that they didn't mess up? How did they organize their work, depending on the type of problem? But I would script out all of those questions that you want to ask so that you have them in front of you, because it can be, just teaching in general can be very frazzling, if that's a word, and you want to make sure you have everything in front of you. The other thing is that as you're going around during the student work time, conferring with your kids and seeing what they're doing, you're going to add questions to your discourse list and take away questions that you don't need to ask them anymore. So it's just really helpful to have that hard copy in front of you. So take some time and think about all those questions that you want to ask. All right. So, like I said before, you don't need to plan for your exit ticket discourse because it's really, really fast. You're just sharing an exemplar copy of the exit ticket, everyone's handing them in, and you're grading them. And because it's 1 or 2 questions, the grading is very, very easy. 150, 0, that's it. I wouldn't even worry about partial credit because by that point, they should have gotten it if they followed all of the steps and you taught it in the way that you had planned to teach it. And then you can hand that back to them. What I used to do with the exit tickets is they could correct them for homework and then hand them in, and I used my reward system in that way, so they got scholar dollars if they brought it back the following day and it was corrected. So that's always an option, but that is completely up to you. So now what you have is a full math lesson plan. Obviously you taught this already, but I think it's just helpful to think about a new structure in the context of something that you're already familiar with teaching. And so now you'll be able to more easily use this structure in something new, like for tomorrow or in a few days. And I think it'll be amazing for you, much, much easier, and really, really great for your kids to be able to discover the math on their own, but then also talk about the math so that they retain the information over a longer period of time. So if you have any questions, you have my email me, call DJ or email him as well, and I look forward to seeing you soon.